What is up, YouTube? It's Rahul. We're back today, and we're going to be doing another deck profile with Chilling Reign, another untested list that I wanted to talk about, an idea that everyone has probably already thought about and already looked at with Chilling Reign, which is Blaziken VMAX paired with Zeraora V. So your Rapid Strike toolbox in this instance. So let's jump into the deck. Okay, guys, here's the list. Here's kind of what's going on here. You can see the full list here if you want to just take the screenshot and leave. Up to you. But this is the list. The idea is we play a 2/2 copy of Blaziken VMAX. So the Blaziken V does 50 with first attack, second is 210, I believe discard 2, I don't exactly remember what the second attack does, but it seems negligible. But Blaziken VMAX is the main part of the deck where we do 60 for 1 fire energy, or we do 130 and we can accelerate up to 2 energies to our Rapid Strike Pokemon. Let's double check the exact text on this card. 60 and they can't retreat, and then 130 and choose 2 and attach an energy card from discard pile to 2 of my Rapid Strike Pokemon, so we can then power up 2 Rapid Strike Pokemon in one go. We have 3 copies of Zeraora V, which for a lightning and double colorless, which does 100 damage, and then 160 to a benched Pokemon. Yeah, that's basically the strategy is going to be using Blaziken VMAX for 130, using Rapid Strike Energy to accelerate Rapid Strike Energy or Impact Energy or whatever we want to, not Impact, Spiral Energy or the Capture Energy or whatever to this guy. So then we can use his attack to do 100 and 160 because 130 probably softens something up to a decent amount, and then we can go in and do a bunch of snipe damage with a boss, vice versa, you know, get the ball rolling. Now for support mons, I don't know why it sorted it like this. We have 1 copy of Crobat V, 1 copy of Bench Barrier Mew, because we also want to protect our bench sitters. It's very important to protect our little guys. They are important. We have a 1/1 line of Remoraid, Artillery, sorry. I know it's going to sound really weird, but in a toolbox style deck like this, having a 1/1 line of an Artillery, which lets you search out any of your Rapid Strike cards per turn, is going to be really strong. Now, it's maybe better to have a thicker line of this, but I wanted to have a thicker Inteleon line right now, so I wanted to try that out. As we go, the Inteleon line could also be subbed out for Jirachi line potentially, but I really do like having that Rapid Strike option for your Treater and the extra snipe damage across the board, so I'll get into that a little bit more. But Sobble can also search out everybody on turn 1, which is really strong, so you don't really mind having a 1/1 line in here in case it's prized, because it's not a necessity for the deck, but Rapid Strike Search does help you pull out some of these fun Rapid Strike cards that can win you a game later down the line. There's 3 of this new Sobble, the Rapid Strike one from the Chilling Reign set, which says for its attack, search your deck for 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon and put them on your bench. Very good Call for Family style attack if you're going second on the first turn. Gets you another Sobble, gets you a Zeraora, gets you a Blaziken, or gets you the Remoraid, the Blaziken, and the Zeraora, and all of a sudden your board is entirely set up. You don't even have to grab Zeraoras early because you can grab those with Quick Ball and set them up, especially later, so you can grab all of these Stage 1, Stage 2 style support Pokemon that we want to grab. Now, Drizzile is a card that came out in Sword and Shield, and this card has been played a lot in Japan because they don't have the Jirachi engine, but I think it's really good in any deck that revolves around having the Inteleon engine. So Drizzile with Shady Dealings, search your deck for a trainer card, put it in your hand. That includes Stadium, Supporter, you know, the whole shebang of cards that we want to have in our hand at any given point. So Shady Dealings with a simple evolution can grab us a Telescopic Sight, one of those one-of items we play. Another consistency card like a Communication Evolution Incense to get us the Blaziken VMAX, a Quick Ball to get us Zeraora, just a very overall good card. Now, some lists do play the other Inteleon to get 2 item cards, but I felt like that was really unnecessary because at the end of the day, we do want to have this guy up and running. James Bond Inteleon, basically he has, once during your turn, you may choose one of your opponent's Pokemon and put 2 damage counters on it. It's basically a Decidueye Light, and it's not as good as Decidueye, don't get me wrong. Decidueye is absolutely broken, and for what it was insane. But Decidueye Light here does get to do 2 damage counters per turn here and there, and for a DCE attacks for 70. So later / mid game, you can accelerate energies onto it to potentially attack with it against something like a Victini VMAX style deck, where you've already softened up some of their mons. So you do get that like weird little typing boost to help a matchup like that, but otherwise, like matchup wise, it doesn't help a lot of things. But the 2 snipe is really what we care about, right? Like the 2 snipe is what we care about, and getting 1 to 2 of these up and running means now we have 40 damage extra per turn on what we're doing. So this 130 from Blaziken becomes 170, which puts anything into 2-shot range, and now this 160 bench snipe becomes 200 potentially on the snipe that we want to have going. And now if we wanted to, sorry, Professor Research, not yet, but if we wanted to have some more sniping going on, we have the Passimian, which does 30 extra to benched when we do bench sniping, and it's also a rapid strike Pokemon, so it's much easier to search out as we go through things. So now our Zeraora is doing 190 minimum without even having Inteleon into play, which means the 190 knocks out the Crobats and some of these other bench sitters. Now if we have the telescopic sight, that means we can hit for 220, guaranteeing us a knockout on other baby V Pokemon, something like that. Let's go into the support engine of the deck a little bit. 3 copies of Professor Research. I think Professor Research is going to become the staple supporter engine along with Marnie across the board. But this one's a little bit different from our usual staple supporter engine because we do have the Professor Research, 3 copies of it. We're gonna have our 2 copies of Boss, very standard across the board because we can search these out with Drizzile, so I'm not like super pressed about finding all of these immediately. But we play 2 copies of Karina Focus because okay, so this doesn't have to actually be this way. It could be 1 copy of Karina Focus and 2 copies of Marnie, or just like cut the Karinas entirely and go to 3 Marnie. But I felt like Karina would make sense in a Rapid Strike style deck where you have the Octillery. So if you get stamped to 1 or stamped low, Rapid Strike Search can search for a supporter card that replenishes your hand in a deck that really probably is only going to need either an energy card or an attacker to kind of continue the game. You know, like you're probably going to end up in a situation where all you're going to need with Karina's Focus is to find like one of these energy cards or a retreat option or something, you know, to continue the game. I have 1 copy of Cheryl. Again, I'm a really big fan of Cheryl in a lot of decks, and there's not many water type decks, so keeping Blaziken alive, because we only play a 2/2 line, is going to be kind of crucial, I think. So I figured Cheryl would be a pretty good inclusion, especially because it's Drizzile searchable, and we can get out of a pretty risky situation where sometimes we're probably gonna have to pivot the Blaziken hard retreat it. It's probably gonna be a hard retreat card, so when we like have that crucial turn where we go Blaziken retreat into Zeraora to attack for either the first time or the second time or whatever, you know, our reset turn, we could use Cheryl because we've probably got a board established at that point, and we can really just turn the game by making our opponent look for those 3 prizes are going to be much harder for them to get. It's not going to be a free 3 prizes for them to attain, so that's why I have Cheryl in the deck. Again, the synergy is a little bit weird. Like I said, these Karina Focuses don't actually have to be Karina's Focus. These can be both cut down to play a 2nd copy of Marnie and a Pal Pad, or something like that. But I really do like having the idea of Karina to use Octillery a little bit better. And in that, you could play more Octillery, more Remoraid. But like I said, this guy searches out all your Rapid Strike babies, so you don't have to worry about it. There's 4 copies of Quick Ball, which is also another card to search out our basic Pokemon early game, because that's going to be very crucial to finding either this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Ideally, if we're going second, we really do want to just be attacking with this guy and getting 3 guys onto the board, because it searches for this, like literally everything. Everything in our deck gets searched by this little crying boy. 3 copies of Level Ball. Level Ball means we can get a Drizzile, so Level Ball becomes an item in our deck. Level Ball becomes a Remoraid, Level Ball becomes a Mew, Level Ball becomes a Sobble. So Level Ball acts as a pseudo item with Drizzile. It is caveated with a condition, obviously, but Level Ball does act as an item. You probably don't need 3, honestly. I'm just playing 3 because I didn't know where to start with the consistency aspect of the deck. But you could probably go to 2 and up it to another supporter if you feel like that's necessary. But I just felt like starting at a number like this could be fine, or going from like 3 Level Ball to 3 Evo Incense would also be like interchangeable. Just so because the Evo Incense also digs out this entire line as well as Blaziken. But I put a lot of stock in my initial list into just the early setup of the game, because for a deck like this that revolves around a plethora of stage 1s and a stage 2, you are really going to be required to have a good early setup in terms of what you do. If you don't, you could just lose the game on turn 2, turn 3 because your setup wasn't strong enough. That being said, there's 2 copies of Evolution Incense, which is going to be a Drizzile-able card to find our Blaziken VMAX, or just our Octillery, or our big boy over here. It searches out a lot of the deck, which is really strong. There's 2 copies of Pokemon Communication. This is also going to be good because we want to be able to recycle our Blazikens and cards like that. And we only play a 1/1 line of Octillery with no recovery. So it's pretty good to put that back into the deck. I should probably include some sort of recovery. I just don't know what I want to cut for it. So maybe recovery is good in this deck. I just haven't decided where it would slot in. 2 copies of Reset Stamp, because again, Drizzile searchable, and we're going to be behind for a lot of the game. I have 1 copy of Echoing Horn in here, so on the off chance our opponent doesn't play Mew, or we've already knocked out the Mew, we can pretty much go kill a Crobat, bring back a Crobat, kill a Crobat, basically to establish dominance / like take prizes in an easier manner than doing like this weird roundabout like strategy. For example, like if they have another 1 prizer on the bench, or like we kill the 3 prizer and they decide not to ever bench a Crobat or Dedenne, our game plan could get a little bit screwed. So being able to dig that out of the discard and basically take a free prize onto it seems pretty nice to me. I think a deck like this could really utilize Echoing Horn, and October searches it out for us. Drizzile grabs it for us. Like, it's fine. We have one copy of Air Balloon because everything has 2 retreat costs in this deck, pretty much, except for this guy, I guess, and these 2 guys. So I figured the 1 Air Balloon is only for these 2 guys, realistically speaking, because we're going to be playing 3 Tower of Waters, and Tower of Waters basically just gives everything, all our Rapid Strike Pokemon, 2 less retreat costs. And if you look at the counts by Rapid Strike, Rapid, nope. So these 2 guys over here are going to be the only things that could get stuck in the active spot, potentially, but we have energy that could retreat it. I believe Spiral can be attached to anything, it just doesn't provide the energy cost. It could be just wrong though, let me just Google it while we're talking about the video. So I can read the exact text on it. Never mind. So it can't be, so we then have only our Capture Energy outs as well as our Air Balloon out. Now Telescopic Sight is the card that I wanted to kind of focus on in this deck, where we do 30 extra to opponent's bench V and GX Pokemon. So Zeraora can now do 190 to bench Pokemon, and if we have Passimian in play, it's 220, which means we can knock out a baby V Pokemon that's being set up, or we can literally just do 220 to something that's about to come up and attack us in the following turn, and then we can come in with another Zeraora, do 100 to that, another big snipe onto the bench, and all of a sudden we could win the entire game in 2 turns. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. So Telescopic Sight, really good. I think 2 copies of it's very strong. It's Drizzile searchable, obviously, but I would just like to have it as 2 copies. Tower of Waters, 3 of them, retreat cost. Also Auxiliary searchable, very strong. 4 Rapid Strike energies, this is going to be the backbone of the deck. Both Blaziken and Zeraora use them very efficiently. And then we have 4 of the Spiral energies, which gives us either the Fire energy for Clutch that we need, or the Lightning energy requirement here. I guess we could also use Waterfall here, and then whatever Passimian's attack is here. We could use them. I just don't know why we would. But it also gets rid of Paralysis, which isn't really major, but in this current standard format, Choo-Choo exists, Raichu and Raichu GX tag team. So we could deal with Raichu and Raichu's Paralysis really effectively, actually. And it doesn't really hurt to play an energy like this, because there's no deck that says, like, if you're playing Special Energy, you can't touch me right now. So yeah. And then I played 2 copies of Capture Energy. I just wanted to fill another energy slot so I could have 10 energy in this deck, and have an energy that I guess could be vanilla to retreat with both the Crobat and the Mew. So having a card like Capture Energy provides us the early game where we can find our Sobble, find our other pieces. Again, I put a lot of stock into the early game setup with this list to make sure we can get the ball up and running as quickly as possible. So with a deck like this and Capture Energy, it really does do the early game justice. This could, again, just be 2 basic lightning energies. It could just be like 2 basic water energies. It could be anything, honestly. But I just felt like having another answer like Capture Energy would be very strong for finding early Sobbles or Remorites. So that's our Inteleon, Zeraora, Blaziken Rapid Strike Toolbox deck, guys. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe. I will continue to do these videos all weekend. I will have a couple of pre-recorded videos up while I'm off at a wedding this weekend, and June 13th on Sunday, when I'm back, we'll be doing a pre-release, so be sure to keep your eyes out for that. But until tomorrow, peace out, guys. I hope you're enjoying the content. Definitely leave a comment below.